Some heroes have to pay the ultimate price, but you can watch this video for free. Hi, I'm Ted Kendrick. Welcome back to another episode of Graphic Content. Today we're going to talk about the recent Batman and Flash crossover, The Price. The Price was a story arc that ran from the recent Batman and Flash ongoing comics, Batman number 64, Flash number 64, Batman number 65, and Flash number 65. So this story arc spun out from the Heroes in Crisis miniseries that's currently going. It's a bit more of a personal crisis along the lines of Identity Crisis, not so much Infinite Crisis, but the story evolves around a place called the Sanctuary, which is a place where heroes and villains who've experienced traumatic events have gone to seek therapy and recover. Unfortunately, the first issue, we see a bloody massacre that kills main characters like Wally West and Roy Harper, alongside other more minor heroes like Commander Steel, Lagoon Boy, Hotspot, the Teen Titan Narc, but Harley Quinn and Booster Gold are wrapped up in it, and they're the main suspects in terms of who committed these murders. So The Price picks up a Batman and the Flash, and they are investigating primarily the murder of Wally West. It is not sitting well with Barry Allen, especially since Barry suggested that Wally attend Sanctuary in the first place after the events of the Flash War. Joshua Williamson is the current writer on the Flash series, and he also wrote The Price, both the Batman and the Flash issues. So The Price actually interrupted Tom King's Batman run, and Tom King is the current writer on Heroes in Crisis, as well as Batman and the recent Mr. Miracle series that won an Eisner. Tom King, I'm sure, was very involved in the plotting of The Price anyway, because he and Joshua Williamson have worked together in the past on the story arc The Button, which ties into Doomsday Clock. So the main instigating events here in The Flash revolve around Gotham Girl. Those of you who read the Batman Rebirth series by Tom King, at least the first story arc, I Am Gotham, might be familiar with Gotham Girl and her brother Gotham. So the two of them were basically Superman level powered characters, but they were kids who got these abilities pretty early on. They didn't have the type of upbringing that Clark Kent had or any sort of training. So Batman took it on himself to try to get these new heroes to be at a level that he would approve of. Unfortunately, it did not go very well. Gotham Girl ended up going kind of crazy. Every time she used her powers, it would actually hurt her and kill her a little bit, and her brother was dead. So here in The Price, we see a very distraught Gotham Girl trying to clone her brother, bring him back to life, but as we know with the monkey's paw myth, that doesn't always go so well. Batman and the Flash take down Gotham Girl. Flash is the whole time just trying to get to the bottom of what the Sanctuary is, why Batman created it, and if he had sent Gotham Girl there as well. And if he had, is that what drove her crazy? Flash starts to blame Batman for the death of Wally West as well. So it's a pretty epic crossover series. Really great follow-up to The Button that came out a year or two ago. There's a lot more sort of subtle mysteries I think I might be able to hint at too. I think that there might be some connection between The Button and The Price, primarily because in The Button we see a quick blip near the end of the story arc where The Button ends up kind of sparking with the Psycho-Pirate's mask in the Batcave. If you're following Heroes in Crisis, you know that the people in the Sanctuary use a form of the Psycho-Pirate's mask to induce their therapy. So that could have just been foreshadowing for The Price or for Heroes in Crisis, but because it related back to The Button, and because that's the last time that Joshua Williamson and Tom King worked together on Batman and the Flash, I think there might be a little more to it than meets the eye. It's possible maybe even then that Dr. Manhattan from Doomsday Clock could be involved in the events of Heroes in Crisis. Maybe he's the culprit that murdered Wally West and Roy Harper. We really don't know yet, but there was a flash of blue light. We've seen Booster Gold and Harley Quinn at the crime scene, so as far as we know, they're the main people. But I find that Button Spark and the Psycho-Pirate's mask to be a really interesting idea that might have more to play up later. So that's something to look forward to, maybe in Heroes in Crisis. Maybe we'll see it start to cross over more with Doomsday Clock. That is yet to be seen. Batman and the Flash, the Flash very much distrusts Batman. The Flash very much just I'm not sure where I'm trying to go with that. Iris West is giving the Flash a lot of BS for hanging out with Batman because she primarily blames Batman for the death of Wally as well. Barry agrees, but he has to reluctantly work with Batman because they're Justice Leaguers. By the end of the story arc, we really see their relationship start to tear apart, and there's an amazing double-page spread where the Flash is holding his fist up to Batman's head and he's like, I could punch you 100 times before you could even hit me once. And it's like, you're right, he's not gonna do it, but he's that powerful and he's that mad at Batman. The last 2 pages is what really intrigued me from the price. It sets up a new story arc called DC's You're the Villain, which is something that we've had teased a little bit over the last couple months, and so this is the first kind of hint of what the storyline might actually involve. And in this couple of last 2 pages, we see Batman sitting at the back computer and he's talking to Superman, and they're talking about how they've had 11 or 12 crises in the multiverse at this point, and it's kind of hard to keep count. It seems to allude that there might be some characters from parallel dimensions who might have snuck into the Prime Earth and maybe taken over the identities of some of our familiar heroes and villains. It's like Batman and Superman don't know who to trust anymore, because anyone could be one of these people that are undercover. Who knows? It was a very vague sort of story hint, but it was just enough to like make me really interested in what the Year of the Villain is going to be. And they especially hint that the Flash might not be able to be trusted either. So we'll see, but there's a lot of foundations starting to crumble in the friendships between our main heroes of the DC universe. So it should be a really interesting year coming up soon. I got this really cool cover here that was drawn by Sean Murphy. It was the variant cover for Batman number 64. Beautiful art though. And if you haven't read Batman White Knight, you should definitely check it out. There's a follow-up called The Curse of the White Knight coming out this summer. So 4-issue series. I wouldn't recommend reading it unless you're already reading Heroes in Crisis, but if you are, it's a great supplement. And if you're interested in Doomsday Clock and the Button, I think you'll see that they all go together really well. So thanks for watching today. This was Batman, The Flash, The Price crossover, and I'll see you again in 2 weeks.